First and foremost, if I can opine the following point, um, I believe that uh, the current geopolitical out of the U.S. government is or lack thereof is not necessarily the worst of things, and the reason is this: um, ultimately, uh, solutions that are sustainable within the continent um, need to be homegrown, home developed, and actually um, prioritized by the administrations that govern us. Aid causing complacency is a tenet that the current U.S. administration are trying to wean Africa from, and from a private sector perspective, I think that that is in fact the right posture. Um, we on the continent know what we need to do, but we do not necessarily prioritize it because we're being subsidized or supported. So it's brushed off on the priority metrics. Now, as to Power Africa's support as an accelerant, yes, indeed, there are a few things that they did through the transaction advisory team. They realized that there weren't protocols in place to enable the private sector to invest securely with utility companies. So talking about the development of energy market protocols, um, talking about the development of, of, of tariffs that would enable the blend of intermittent renewables alongside baseload supplies of power from hydro and thermal sources and the likes. Now, one of the positive things about Africa's relatively slow development of the energy sector is that in most places, the primary source was largely legacy hydropower, which is intrinsically renewable. So, of course, that has had its weaknesses, particularly in the recent advent of us seeing the effects of climate change on water resources and the likes. But fundamentally, what Power Africa did was to create a roadmap that would enable private sector to get private sector based project finance to meet the demands for domestic, commercial and industrial and utility scale applications across the spectrum. Now, one of the fundamental challenges that was experienced therein is the time inertia of getting state utilities to adapt to private sector collaboration and integration. And